Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here one more time and welcome back to my weekly dose of inspiration, empowerment, and real talks. Today, we're going to be talking something that's really close to my heart, and I'm very excited about it because I want to dive into this conversation because it's one that really comes up all the time, which is taking risks. And how do we do it? Well, how do we quiet all the voices inside of us that are saying, what if it goes wrong? How do we move past the fear and actually create the life that we always really wanted? And I've been there. Trust me, I get it. Because taking risk can actually feel totally terrifying, but it's only the key to growth. Self-discovery and stepping into your power is the only way forward. So today we're breaking it down, and by the end of this episode, I really, I really want you to feel ready to take the next bold step. Does that sound good to you? Because it sounds good to me. I've been in that position, so I know exactly where you're coming from. Is scary. It's that fear of the unknown. But why does it feel so scary? Well, first things first, let's get real about talking about fear because fear isn't a bad thing. It is not a weakness. You know what? Your brain is literally designed to keep you safe. So anything that's uncertain or anything that's unfamiliar is very weird for the brain, and it triggers that little voice in your heart, in your head, that's actually saying, "Shall I do this, or shall I not do this?" But courage is in the absence of fear. Courage is feeling that the actual fear is gonna happen anyway. And I want you to think about something in your life that you've accomplished and where you were doubting. Maybe it was switching careers, maybe it was starting a new relationship, or maybe moving a city like I did, or even just signing up for a dance class. You know what I'm talking about. Well, even when you had zero experience, what was the fear? Did you do it anyway? Because I did it, and I know you can do it too. Did you actually grow because of it? So, what's the first step? Let's try and normalize that fear. Don't wait for it to disappear because it normally doesn't. Instead, get comfortable carrying it with you. That's something that it can become familiar. So when you have that little weird feeling, just think it's normal. That's what it's going to feel like. The second step is a smart, small building confidence. Because I know you might be thinking, that sounds great, but how does that actually start and how do I actually do it? This is what I see a lot of people getting totally stuck. And when we think that taking risk means diving totally headfirst into the deep end, but you don't have to jump straight into the unknown. Instead, I want you to start really small. And if you're thinking about a career change, maybe your first step is reaching out to someone that's in that field, just for a quick chat. Because if you're dreaming on launching your own business like I did, maybe you need to start researching. Maybe you need to start brainstorming, maybe mapping out your first steps. And if you're scared to put yourself out there, maybe on dating or maybe creating a creative artistic project, then maybe start by sharing something small in a safe space. Because remember something, every time you take one of the small risks, you prove to yourself that you can handle it. Each time you do this with confidence, it gets easier and you grow. And you know this. Imagine what it was for me to move countries and also open my own business and learn English, which was my first language. The third step was know your whys. Know this is the next stage, and it's huge. And if you want to take these bold risks, you need to get clear on what you're doing it. Ask yourself this question: what's on the other side of the fear? What am I reaching for? What is the vision I have for my life? Because if your why is definitely strong enough, it will pull you forward even when when the fear kicks in. And let's just say something. You're thinking about leaving your job to start something on your own. The fear says, "What if I fall?" But then on the other side, you think, because I really want freedom. So you're kind of contradicting yourself in there. You want to wake up every single day excited about your work. And that's what everybody dreams of. But maybe you want to open your heart to love again. But the fear says, what if I get hurt? And on the other side, you say, because I deserve connection and I refuse to let the past keep me from this joy, from this feeling. So try and focus on that. The fourth step, surround yourself with the right support. This is extremely important. And I tell you why, because if you don't, and you also have negativity all the time, you're not going to move forward. You do not have to do this alone. You are not meant to be a solo warrior in this life. Surround yourself with people who totally encourage you and who inspires you and reminds you of how good you can make this happen. You have the strength. You can't forget that. And that's something I really want you to know. Maybe find a mentor. Maybe find a community just like this one with like-minded women or men who will get you where you're going through. Reach out to friends who uplift you. You've always got me as well. Through the website, on a call, on a video. You should know this. I'm here. My social media is there. You can also join the Women Academy for more hands-on support and community support. And listen, if you still do not have that support system yet, build it. Build it like I did, because the people you surround yourself with is the most important one. Then they will either push you forward or they will keep you totally stuck and backwards, and you will not move it. Choose it wisely, okay? Number 5, reframe your failure. It's just feedback. It's just something that's happening. Let's talk about this for a minute. The big, scary F word, failure. The failure, the F word. I need you to hear me on this. Failure is not the proof that you aren't good enough. It is the proof that you are actually trying. Don't forget that, because learning and failing, it's growing. And look at any successful person, whether they're in business, they're in art, they're in relationships, whatever. They have failed millions of times. How do you think things happen? They don't just happen from one day to the other, and then you don't just say, I want to do this, and then it just works. They failed many, many times. Many times that you can't even count. But you know what the difference is? They didn't stop. And I've been there. I look at every single setback I had, and I looked at it as a feedback. And it's just data. It's life. It's a way of saying, you know what? I'm going to try again. Let me tweak it. Let me adjust it. So instead of seeing failure as something to avoid, I want you to see it as part of the process, because the only way to truly fail is to never try it at all. I'm telling you that. Don't sit in the corner or even on your thoughts when you're on your own and think, why did I never do this? And this is where you start doing the work. What's a risk that you've been thinking about taking? Tell me. Maybe it's something big or maybe something just really small. But either way, I want you to name it. Say it loud, super loud. Write it down, plan it. And then I want you to ask yourself, what's one small step I can actually take towards this today? Number 2, what's my why? Why am I want to do this? Number 3, who can I lean on their support to make this happen? Then number 4, I would say, how can I reframe failure so then it will happen? Take a moment to reflect. And if you need that support, reach out. You're capable. You are brave. You have what it takes to create the life that you want. I'm doing it. You can do it too. So take the leap, take the step, say yes to yourself. And if this episode spoke to you and helped you, let me know. Send me a message. Share it, your biggest takeaway of this. And if you know anybody who needs to hear this today, send this to them today. Share it. Don't be selfish. Listen, until next time, please keep moving forward. You know, that's my biggest motto. Go and be brave. Build the life you deserve with everyone that you want and how you want. Till then, I want to say thank you so much for being here and welcome me back into your weekly listening to grow, into your weekly inspiration, because I'm so excited to keep growing with you and to dive into these conversations, because this one is something that comes with big risks. But you know what? That voice inside is telling you to do it. And if it goes wrong, it's okay. You can move past that fear and get to the next level. And as I said, create the life that you always wanted. I see you soon.